Hi, bit of a winter Friday fun moment. I just thought I'd share with you just a little tip on how I make the spirals. So this is you can't really see it in the dark and gloom, but I'll do a better shot later. This is my gold headdress that some of you got to see at the leather event and even try on. And I just felt like, it needed a little bit something more. So I've got some of these spirals that have been glued in, and I'm just adding in a whole load more, and I'm adding some feathers and things as well. But this is how I make my spirals. So this is the Heatform leather. The whole headdress was made out of Heatform. This is from our A3. It was around 2 to 2.5 mil, and I cut it into strips. Actually, I had a circle cut out of an old piece, so I used that to just cut into the spiral using one of Shing's knives, the quarter moon, which worked really well just to give me some pressure to go around and get a spiral, and it's just given me this length. I've then coloured that with Identity water-based leather stain. You can see my bottles getting to the end now, looking a bit sad. Plus some of the Dora really bright gold and the antique gold, which the combination of those three on top of the Heatform has just given me a bit of texture and luster and doesn't look too flat, but quite blingy as well. So the way that we use the Heatform, I have an old paintbrush here, which is great because it has a taper and the end fell off. So I'm just going to use this craft heat gun, and it's on a low setting. It's not particularly a high voltage. What does it say on here? It's 300 watt, 230 volts. So it's just a craft one. So perhaps don't go mad with using like something you'd use for paint stripper. If you want to do this, a hairdryer works as well. The heat guns just tend not to have the blowing action. And you can also iron this with greaseproof paper over the top. This is a silicone sheet I've got underneath just so that I can go straight onto it with heat. So just bear with. Okay, so you want it so that it's really floppy. It doesn't take very long. That was a couple of minutes. And I just kept turning it and so that I could get it. And then I've got one of my fatter ends, so I'm going to start with my fatter end and just literally wrap it around. And because the leather's quite soft, I'm just checking that I'm keeping it with the grain on the top. It goes around really easily. Now obviously you can do this with your natural veg tan leather as well and wet forming it, but you will then have to wait for it to dry and hold it in place. The absolute wonder of this Heatform is the instant results that you can get. Even as I'm working now, it starts to cool down. So if you're working on bigger pieces, just apply a little bit more of a blast to any bits as you get to the end, but this is going to be fine. So I'm just taking it round to the taper, and I've got it on quite tight, just squeezing it in place and holding it. Just give it a hold, just let it set some memory in, probably 10-20 seconds. Again, a lot quicker than with dampened leather. The whole thing is easier. So it's on there now, it's not even springing off. I can slide that off, and there I have it. Now it's a little tight, so I'm just going to give it a little gentle pull. And as that just cools down even more, that will just set. It will keep a little bit of spring in it, so you can still adapt it a little bit, and obviously you can go back with a little application of heat if you need to modify it. And there we have another addition. Anyway, I don't know what you're up to this weekend, but whatever it is, happy leather crafting and have fun. Thought maybe it might need a little bit more.